Blue Collar Broadcasting number 4. And thank you so much, Brecco Brandon, for having us over here at Brecco and showing us all the products, all the different brands that you'll have. Lansdale Valve, as far as that brand goes, I remember putting in so many butterfly valves of that brand.
Right. Yeah, we sell a ton of them. I mean, it's one of our fastest moving products. Our customers love them, and I love to hear that.
And welcome, Bobby.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining.
All right, in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
You brought the
Appreciate
cold
it.
down here, dude.
It is pretty chilly.
It's so
It's
cold.
nice and warm in here, though, for Brandon.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I
thanks for
tried to get
joining.
a space heater, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, we said no to the space heater. We didn't want to pop the breaker.
That would have been bad.
Thank you for joining. As you guys join, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We really appreciate it. Whether you're watching us live or you listen while you drive.
I have to congratulate you guys on how clean your warehouse is, how efficient everybody's running around. I had a blast with the golf cart. I know that no one really knew I took it, but when we were out there, I just took it for a spin. It's fast. We had fun. But there's so many products, and there's so many different brands. For one, you go around for all the brands, and you go and talk and do trainings and everything. And how do you even keep up with it all?
Wow, that's a great question. So I mean, when you look at it, and we talked a little bit about this today when you were going through our warehouse and everything, is I think sometimes people can forget how many brands are distributed through Brecco. And so what we talked about is we have, Gemlock, which naturally it's a huge selling product, very popular in the Northeast. We also have our Lansdale Valve product line. We have White Rhino product line. We have Albany Pipe and Nipple is one of our brands as well. And then we have things like EGW Plumbing and Supply. I mean, it's just, there's so much, and it's almost hard to keep up with it. But I think, to your point, as we begin to walk through the warehouse today, I think the big thing that stood out was just how much we have to offer the industry in both waterworks and fire protection products.
Yeah. When we were walking through it earlier, and I was seeing all the products and all the different sizes, and then also the copper that you have in there and some brass, I was like, this is fire pump building city right here. You have everything.
We have everything. And we love, speaking of fire pumps, we love fire pumps. I mean, there's nothing that, pretty much if there is a product that anybody needs at all, if we don't carry it today, we're gonna find the right solution, and we're gonna bring it to the market as fast as we possibly can, because we want to be really that one stop, one house, anything you need for the field.
Right. And then another thing that while we were walking through that just stood out more than anything is y'all's freaking packaging. If there was an award for the best packaging in fire protection, y'all would win. Hands down. It's the coolest. Look at that 992 box.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, yeah, the 992 box, it's funny because, first of all, I think if you're involved in products at all, you have to be excited about your own product, right?
Of course.
But we don't just look at it from the standpoint of the product. We want the entire customer experience to start with the package. We want, when a fitter goes up to that truck and pulls that box off, we want them to say, this not only looks quality, they trust the name, they trust the brand, but we want them to think, hey, they put just as much time, energy, and effort into making sure that this product was housed and comes to market in a way that we can look at. It can be different.
Right.
And to your point, the 99.2 package, so we designed that. So we were sitting on that for over a year, and it was just killing me. And I wanted so bad to just do our printouts of the packaging and frame it and put it on the wall, because it was a back and forth collaborative approach that we did with our design team, and we were so excited with it when it came out. And I've taken pictures of it. We've shared them on our socials recently as well.
Right.
But yeah, you're going to continue to see that. We have some new products that we're going to release later on this year, and we just sent the packaging for those off to the factory as well. And I wish I could show it to you, but you'll have to wait.
Another thing with the packaging too, I think when I was thinking about how that would look, not just from the contractor who's purchasing it and using it and seeing it as a quality package, given and then showing that it's a quality product, but that's also what the customer and the GC and everybody that you're going to work for sees too. They see these nice boxes coming into the job site, and they're like, okay, this is quality stuff. I understand what I'm paying for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great point. that's really some of what was behind even the packaging for GymFlex, because I know that whenever we were walking out there, I think both of you guys continuously were saying, "Look, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one," and it stands out. It's easy to see. It stands out.
It stands out great.
Yeah, we want when somebody goes out to the job site to know that you have trusted our products and they're very visible.
And Bobby, what were you thinking when you first walked in here?
It's big. It's big. It's very well organized. And when we first got here, there was a lot of workers here, and it seemed like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. And fun facts in regards to that. So here we're just above 100,000 square feet in this distribution center. But when you look across the entire U.S., we have 5 distribution centers that we house over 500,000 square feet of product. So. And you know, as you guys could see, we're expanding here as well, and so it's going to continue. We are, and it's going to continue to grow, and we're excited about that.
You guys have everything. Just made a video with Brian. You guys should go check it out
so
on Brian's page, and little funny video for you guys. Appreciate you watching.
You can find it on Retrofit Brian on Instagram. That was fun to make.
Brad, I see Durso, Brad, HBF. Thank you guys for joining. Florencio likes the quarter zip. Might be able to get you one, Flo.
Yeah, we can order.
We also have.
We have hats.
I think we can send hats.
Yeah, we can send hats.
Flo, you want a hat?
I won't personally send you some hats, but I'll make Brandon do it. If you guys want some GymFlex hats, comment GymFlex.
And then just send your address to Bobby's Instagram. Blue Collar Bobby.
They know who I am, bro.
Yeah, well, I just letting them know. So there's some of these products that are brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them I've only seen today. So for example, the 992, you've been kind of keeping it from our wraps and away from us. And it's like, hey, here you go. I want to wait and hold it in your hands. The first thing I could feel is the paint. You know, some paint on some of the couplings, not even push on, but also, just the standard rigid or flex. And it doesn't feel very premium, but your paint feels premium. And for me, that's a big thing. And not just that, but also the rubber. I mean, how did y'all come up with that? What was the thought process? And I know you are excited to bring that to market.
Yeah. So when you look at the 99.2, we had there was always demand for more 2-bolt push-on couplings that was in the market space. And we'd come out with the 99, a few years ago, and that's been a great seller for us, but it's, the 1-bolt push-on. But we did have a lot of contractors that were still like, one day, we'd love to have the 2-bolt just because it was common. It was something that was comfortable for the fitters. It felt familiar to them. And so we took a look at that product and we were like, what can we do differently? Well, one of the things we knew we couldn't improve was the gasket. The gasket was great. It was perfect. So we went with the same gasket for that. And then really just went back and took a look. It's not a secret that everybody's releasing a similar product, in the market today. And so what we wanted to do is we just wanted to produce a product that not only continued to have that premium feel to it, but it just works. Right. I've talked to customers before and I've asked them, I've said, if you were ever called out to a job site in the middle of the night, and you just needed a product that just works, you're not going to lose sleep over it, what would it be? And they tell us, and we, and we're like, yeah, we knew you were going to say that.
Right.
So what we want to always make sure to do is that the product that we're going to give you is going to have that same peace of mind. And once this is in your fitter's hands, just like you mentioned today, they're going to touch it, feel it, they're going to go install it. It's going to feel familiar. They're going to know it's premium. They're going to know it's the best product they can possibly install at a great price as well. So it's like, how do we hit all of those tick all the boxes, so to speak, and that's what we've done with it. And we're really excited about it. It's already being installed on job sites in the Northeast market, and our customers are saying they love it. We're not surprised by that.
And with all that warehouse space, you're not going to run out. So it doesn't really seem like there's a job too big for you guys.
No, we're not going to run out. As you've seen, we have a steady flow of inventory. Our senior leadership team is very strategic in the way that they move our inventory in and out, and they're doing a fantastic job with that.
Is the 992, is that your favorite new product?
For me, if we're talking about groove products, I would say that the two that excite me the most is the 992 and then our Style 5A coupling, which is more of your traditional. It'd be similar to like the 005 is what I would say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those two together, as far as our groove product offering, they're the two I'm most excited about for sure.
Bobby, holding that coupling, what were you thinking?
I'm about to grab one right now, actually.
Here, you want to borrow one? I got one for you right here.
Oh, yeah, I do. I like the feel of it. I liked it when I was out there. I think we're holding a 2-inch and an 1.5 inches. And like Brian said, it's got nice paint. Shout out to the
Which is a
production
big
team
deal.
in the back, by the
I
way.
mean, nice
Appreciate you
paint's a
guys.
big deal.
It is. It looks good. Clear verbiage. I like it. It
Yep.
feels good.
Yep, these are in the arms of so many salespeople right now in the market. So
yeah.
anybody that's interested in the product, I mean, definitely contact your local distributor. They've got a rep that can bring it out and get it in your hands quick.
Sound 99 too.
99 too. That's it.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
And these flexes in front of us, by the way, not to, bypass the actual flex, but this is cool. So this little tab, you'll get the flex right here, just like this in the box. And then this is, so once you put this on your branch line, if the grid is not installed yet, you'll just
Use it like you would a tie wrap
boom,
or something. Yep.
tie it up. That's it. So it saves you zip ties. I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
So could you? Yeah, I know, right? Whoa.
Laptop kid.
But there's a lot of different ones. So you have your thinner braided
Comes the party
one,
foul.
your the thicker one, and then you have non-braided.
Mhm.
And you said that y'all sell a lot of non-braided.
We do, yeah. And there's a huge demand for that, and it's funny that you mentioned it the way you did, because we've been asked that question before. So when you look at bringing a flexible hose to market where there's a lot of competitor products out there,
Right.
One of the things you have to take a look at, and we have 3 hose options currently. Not to let the cat out of the bag too soon, but we're already looking at Gen 2, and so I don't know what that looks
Oh,
like.
wow.
But for our initial launch, what we were really trying to do is like, we could bring one hose to market, and it could be like the best hose, and maybe that would have been our Elite Performance hose. And it would have ticked the boxes for a lot of people.
Right.
But then we would have left, it's almost like, what are your customers asking for? If you look at like companies like Apple, for example, when they release new phones or whatever, they release different models that have different features, different
Right.
price points and everything else. And so you almost got to look at it from that standpoint as, there's still going to be other options that our customers are going to want. So we can either release a product and not have that in the market, not have that available to them, or we can go ahead and really release that full line
Right.
and have something for everyone. So depending on if friction loss is the most important thing to you, then we have our Elite Performance hose, and here it is. But if that's not going to be, the main thing that's motivating your buy, and you've got a job site, you're price conscious, whatever it is, because you're out there competing on the jobs, well, we also have like our standard hose and our non-braided hose as well. And one of the things that we really like about all 3 of our options is if you take and you look at the leading competitor hoses against ours, our friction loss are best in class, best in industry. And it's not just the friction loss alone, but when you look at, the number of bends you can have, what the bend radius is, I mean, this is a great solution for, a customer looking for a flexible sprinkler drop. Absolutely.
And you said it's best, as in the friction loss, the calc.
Yeah, so like for example, if you take like our 48-inch, half-inch outlet hose, the friction loss on it is only 19. And so compare that to some other products that are on the market. They range between, like, I have it pulled up here. You have some in the same class, same hose length. Their friction loss would be like 37, 49, 50 even. So, drastic change as far as in the performance. And that is, our Elite Performance is, the hose idea is 1.25 inches. So it is larger than the other 2 hose options, which are both 1 inch.
So the best product at a good price. I mean, really, are we talking about anything even that beat that? I mean, it's pretty great.
Brett wants to know, our brothers to the north, you guys do sales in Canada?
So currently we do not do sales in Canada of these flex heads. That's something that we've considered, and I couldn't really speak to where we are at that. So I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying at this time.
Depends how many you want, Brett.
If he wants a truckload, we'll talk. We'll figure it out.
We can always do something.
Yeah.
Great question. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Thank you for the support. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button. You know the deal.
So you also have Waterworks within Brecco,
Mhm.
You have, and then you do Gymlock and Brecco itself. Now Brecco's its own line. Then you have
So
Lansdale
Brecco,
Valve
Brecco's the name of the distribution company for all of our brands, and so everything
okay.
else would so our brands would be like Lansdale Valve, Gymlock,
right.
White Rhino, Trumbull Manufacturing.
Can you explain White Rhino to us a little bit more?
So it's a brand on primarily our waterworks side of the business, but there's some products that are it's under our White Rhino label, but there's things like gasket kits and things like that. But we sell a lot of those types of products. I would highly recommend if somebody wants to get a lot of detailed information about White Rhino, if you go to EGW Plumbing and Utilities, our website there, we have a full write up and all kinds of neat hot links and stuff to take you through the entire product catalog of everything that would encapsulate that.
Awesome.
What do you think about the Flex?
The Flex?
Yeah.
It's nice. It feels good. I like how this one gets bigger to give it the bigger demand. Sorry
Yeah.
for the noise. It actually tapers from 1 inch up.
Up to the 1.25 inches, right? So they don't. Yeah.
You all right? Yeah, it is nice. And then the built-in, most guys are using a zip tie on these.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Get
what
a
I
bag of
used.
zip
That's
ties
what I
and
used back in the
Zip tie it
day.
together, and then the zip tie is nice, but then when you go to take the zip tie off, it's not always the easiest.
No.
Yeah, to
Get
get
a knife
off.
or some snips or whatever, and whoa, the thing goes flying. It's usually live at that point. So this is a cool little addition. I honestly thought it was something different when you first pulled it out. And
Yeah, we were talking about it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, see, that's where you moved it earlier. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
So do you have different links options?
Oh yeah. I mean, we go all the way from the 24 inch all the way up to 72 inch links.
How about the end?
Oh, for the
ends that
reducers
attach together?
themselves, yeah. So we have outlet extensions. So we start at 6 inch and go all the way to 9 inch. And in addition to that, too, we have our short elbow and our long elbow reducers as well. And one of the things we're doing on those is, there's other manufacturers that you can buy those separately. I think they're in like packs of 10 or whatever. But you can order. We have part numbers in place for the short elbow and long elbow to where you don't have to place a separate order or add extra cost. You can just order the hose directly from us, fitted like that, with whichever length that you're looking for.
Because they're always trying to stuff those things in the center of a hallway right under the duct, and so the elbows on the end really help.
Yeah.
The guys in the field really appreciate that.
Yeah, and there is a lot of information. So I would recommend to everybody too that's interested is go to www.gymflex.com. We have a very simple website, and the way that we've set it up is we have all the technical data, all the installation guides, everything right there. So we also have a white paper online. So if you had somebody that just wanted to read about the product, when you go straight to our page, you can pull that right up and just have pretty much all the information easy. We didn't hide it. We went through a lot of different websites whenever we were developing product, and we spent some time trying to find things, and it was difficult sometimes. And so we've tried to keep it simple and easy to find.
That's great. Yeah, we are in Georgia. You guys are based out of. This is where you're based out of, right?
Well, so we have also, we have 2 other large distribution centers, and we have some smaller ones as well. But this is one of our hubs. And we also have one in Phoenix, Arizona, which is huge as well. We'd love to get you guys out there at some times too to check that out. And then we also have a distribution center up in New York.
Oh, okay.
As well.
My neck of the woods.
So yeah,
We're
we're spread out. We're spread out. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were just asking where you guys are based out of. Cool
Now,
website. Just checking it out. Super easy to navigate. Thank you, Flo.
Did you have hands in the website?
I spent a lot of time on the website,
Yeah?
while I was on vacation, actually. It
Yeah.
was interesting. Yeah, so we worked with a web designer, and we walked them through what we wanted to do, and they wrote code and then sent me this link that allowed me to do little modifications. And, there was stuff that I had to go back, but I kept telling them it's just I want to keep it simple. I want to keep it easy to navigate to where if somebody has a question, we're able to hit that.
Yeah.
And naturally, we want them to come back and ask us questions too. But again, it's all about keeping the information in the hands of the people that have the questions. And we've had a huge increase over the past 2 weeks of customers reaching out to us, having the data sheets, talking about the product, touching the product, taking samples out, and right now, we're getting so much positive feedback that we're really excited about that, and it makes us feel like we have hit all of the points that we were trying to hit with our flexible drops.
How do you want your customers to contact you? You prefer the website or reaching out to a salesperson? Both?
Well, as you know, we sell through distribution. So, I mean, that's going to be the best way to get in touch with somebody. But on our website, we do have a link, and it's info@brecco.com. And if somebody will go there, then they can connect with our customer service team, which will point them to one of our distributors.
The closest one.
Yeah.
Chris, send me some videos of that. I want to see that tomorrow. I'd love to come by and do a test with you sometime. We got Chris doing a hydro in Brooklyn tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
We got 25 live viewers. You got any questions?
It's incredible.
Ask them. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
I mean, it seems like y'all came a long way. As far as I know, I was definitely, my mind was opened when I got here. I did a little research prior, but I just,
There's a lot of stuff.
You don't think that,
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, well, you're going
A
to
lot
the
of different,
website.
a lot of different brands under one roof,
Right.
which I think is what a lot of people don't know.
No, well, Brecco's been around for 45 years.
45 years.
45 years. You got to think about that.
Most people
We're not-
think Lansdale, they're thinking of a 1x2 nipple and a butterfly valve, right?
Mm.
So we're mostly putting in the majority of the stuff.
Butterflies, that's what I'm
Thousands
familiar
and
with.
thousands of 1x2 nipples.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, we sell a ton of gate valves, like we were talking about that as well. I mean, it's
Full port,
Power
stainless
balls.
steel.
mhm.
which is the
Brass.
coolest name
Tell
ever.
us all about it.
Oh, yeah. So if you watch the reel I did on Retrofit Brian on Instagram, you'll see the stainless steel, the brass, the copper, not copper, but stainless steel, brass, and then also the regular iron.
Hi,
one.
Janine. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Janine.
Yeah. Brian was running around there, and I just want to say that whatever they produce on their own, we have nothing to do with. They're in our warehouse. We don't know what they're going to post. I just want.
As far as what
I
we
see.
said, that's on us. That has nothing to do with Brecco, okay?
Wow. Janarsi says, Brecco catalog is my Lord and Savior. Our core and main stock, almost strictly Brecco products.
Wow, awesome.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, we love it. And our catalog, we love our catalogs. Like, if you've ever met somebody that works with Brecco, like I've showed you guys our business cards. We put both
Yeah.
our waterworks and our
Right.
fire protection catalog on the back, the QR code. And we update those catalogs weekly.
Whoa.
And so multiple things, as we find things, as we add SKUs to our system, we're constantly updating those. In fact, today I was filtering emails with our graphics team coming to me saying, hey, we need to add Gymflex to the catalog, showing pictures and everything. And I mean, it's just constantly changing. So the reason why, we do have hard print catalogs, and we're getting ready to order a new batch. We're waiting to add a few more products. But the reason why we like those digital catalogs is because if you scan that and you're downloading that, you're always going to have the most current catalog
Up to date.
up to date in your hands. Yeah.
Wow. I love catalogs.
That's pretty cool. I got to give another shout out to the production team in the back. Keeps on changing the camera. I love it.
Yeah, this is something that is also been eye-opening. Like, I'm like, wow. But, we talked offline, and you said we're going to be hungry for something like this all the time.
Yeah, we had meetings about this, and
I'm like,
they said that they would be able to live switch the camera, and I'm like, I don't know. We
I
run
don't
this
know.
thing
We've never
live.
seen it
This isn't
before.
your normal podcast. You can just be flipping cameras. And he's like, I got you, huh? Look at him back there. We have to have a camera on
Thank
you
you
guys. Good work. Good work.
But I also did not understand, as far as the production goes, how much work goes into this.
Yeah.
I mean, tons. We got here at 9 a.m.
We got to have like 300 feet of wire out right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's the thing. And speaking of production, it's just like the videos that we produce. There's videos that we have just sitting there that we've had for a year. And it's like, we want to show them so bad because of what all goes on behind the scenes. But to your point, people that don't see what's going on production-wise and the planning and the script writing and everything else, they're just seeing a final product. And so for us, especially if you're in content creation, the world, you're looking there and you're like, did anybody view it? Did they appreciate it? Because we know the work that goes into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it shows up with 4 bags. Right? We're coming out of the airport with just all these bags of electronics.
Well, I mean, if you look at your videos, they're top notch. Not many people are producing them like you. Actually, I don't know if anybody's actually producing them to the size of you.
I think Blue Collar Bobby's doing okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the video quality. We talked about that. I think you need to go mirrorless.
It's the best, baby.
But y'all doing great. I mean, y'all even went to the job site and took footage of people using your here's stuff on the job site. That's not done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that.
Well, and some of, there's a lot of reasons why we do that. One of them is we want to talk to fitters in the field installing our products. We want to know what they think. And we tell them, we go out to the job site, and before we video anything, before we do anything, we have that conversation with them. And we're like, look, if you don't like this, if you think it's junk, or, you'll have this whole conversation. It's like, just tell us, because we can't get better without honest feedback. And you guys and I, we talked about this before.
It's true.
When we show y'all products, is you either think it's good or it's not, but you got to be honest with us, because we can't get better if we need to get better without honest feedback. So one of the things is we want to know what they're thinking. Was this easy to install? What did you run into? What should we be mindful of? But not only that, we can use that information to come back even from a instruction creation and say, you know what, we probably need to have an instruction guide that better details XYZ, whatever that is. But we learn that by being out there with the field, working with them, understanding them. How was the product installed? Was there, anything that we could have done different? Or do we see that they've installed it incorrectly? Nobody wants to talk about that. but if maybe something should have been installed a little bit differently, that gives us that time, especially with new product releases, to work with people and come together with something that we can bring back to our team. We can go back to engineering and say, hey, here's what we're seeing. Here's what we want to change. So we get that. We also get the ability to see our product installed, because again, we geek out about it because we've got invested interest. And some people may not know this, but flexible sprinkler drops, we've been working on this for 5 years. And I remember seeing the very first demo model 5 years ago. and I'll tell you, true story, somebody put it in my hands and I looked at it and I just put it back in their hands and I walked off. Well, that's not what we ended up doing, right? And so we worked with our engineers, and again, we did our due diligence to come out with a product that we could be proud of, a product that we would want to use. If this is protecting me, this is the product I want. So it allows us, again, to go out in the field, have those conversations, see the installations taking place, maybe even recommending or realizing maybe we should explain something this way.
Yeah.
Get all that. But then on top of that, show people are using these products. People are installing these products. People are excited about these products, because it goes back to, you don't know what you don't know. And so we want to make sure that we do our due diligence to get that out into the field, make sure that everybody's aware that these products are out there, they're installed, we're taking your feedback, and at the end of the day, the industry is going to be better because we're working together.
Yeah, I remember doing training. A manufacturer came in and they did training with us, with the whole company that I was working for. And then after that training, even when I went to another company, I really only wanted to use that product because that's what I got trained on, and I was comfortable with it, and I knew all the things I needed to do. I didn't want to use anything else. And that's what y'all are doing with those fitters, going around doing the trainings, is building confidence. So they were like, I want to use Gym Flex. I want to use the 992 because I know it, and I know it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and they get factory representation as well. We have a team that we're ready to come out. You want us to come and do a project kickoff with you. We'll be there. We'll be there with your fitters, hand in hand, answering questions, making sure that they have the support that they need. And I know anybody can say that, right? Anybody can say that. But the reality is we've got to keep saying that, so they will invite us out. And that goes for everybody. Every manufacturer should be doing that, right? And working together as a team, because that's one of the things when we look at what even you guys are doing for the industry, this education side, we've talked about this before, it doesn't take place unless you have two active participants in that. So from the factory standpoint, we want to come out and we want to participate in that with the fitters in the field.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's how you get. That's how you. Whoa, another one. Yo, Chris.
Tag Training
thank
Chris.
you. I love
Thank
when
you.
that thing pops up. Dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's a new subscriber
Yeah,
live.
2 of them on the show.
If they subscribe when we're not live, you don't get that excitement. But if they subscribe while we're live, hit the subscribe button. It's 26 you.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
We're almost at 2,000 subscribers on YouTube in fire protection, which we're very proud of, and we never thought we would be that way.
And you guys are running up the chat. I appreciate that too. Hey, really, if you want companies to buy it, you got to get the fitters to like it. So being in the field, I think you're doing that's a great idea.
If you want a hat, just put
Comment Gemflex.
Yeah, comment Gym
Brandon
Flex,
will send you a hat.
and then message Blue Collar Bobby on Instagram. Send it to him, your address and all that. He'll get with you. We'll get you a hat.
And also, one thing to note, people that place orders, we do have shirts that go with the orders as well. So if you want a really cool Gym Flex shirt, like every order that goes out, that's part of the package. So.
Oh, wow.
All right, I
That's
know I'm
pretty
not
cool.
supposed to ask this, but y'all came out with some of this stuff. You were super secret about it, but you also told us that, there might be some more things. How many more products are we thinking about coming out in 2026? Because, I love new products, new innovation. I don't know how much you could speak on that, but, if you can give us a little something.
There's a lot of products coming out, Bob. There's a lot. There's a lot. Now, the thing is, and again, I can't give you the number, but what I can tell you is we have, again, going back to our leadership, Michael is just a phenomenal leader, and he takes a long look at the market. Where's it going, based on feedback, industry trends we're seeing, and we build out years and years worth of product releases. And so all I can tell you is I've seen the paperwork, and it's going to continue to be exciting, and we want to continue to let everybody know about it.
That's awesome.
What's
up, Daryl? I like that sound too, Chris.
Welcome back, Daryl.
Thanks
No,
for
that's cool.
Felix, what up?
I'm not gonna press you anymore on that. Okay.
Well, I'll keep telling you the exact same thing, so it's okay.
Hit me up on Instagram, guys, in the DMs with your shirt size, and I'll get them to Brandon. And your address, shipping address.
Yes,
shirt
we have
size.
to have shipping address.
So as far as distribution, you're pretty much covered all over the United States.
We are.
Is there any state that you're not in, and then lead times might be a little longer, or?
We can get anybody in the U.S. anything they need.
That's fast?
And fast. as fast as they're willing to pay for.
Keep
it.
trying.
No.
Keep trying to stump him, Brian.
Yeah. I'm trying.
No, we're prepared.
Sharp,
we have
man.
an inventory. I'm telling you. We started receiving our inventory of this product a while back. And we were waiting, and it was hard. I'll tell you, the hardest part of this product release really came down to the fact that we had some salespeople that found out about it. They knew that we had an inventory, and they wanted us to sell it. And we looked at it, and we wanted to sell it. Oh, we did, because we were excited about it. We loved it. We've been dreaming about it. We lay in bed at night, and we have dreams of like how happy this product's going to make people, okay? It's crazy. But we took a hard look at it, and we said, you know what we don't want to do, though? We don't want somebody to order something and then get hit with a back order.
Yes.
And then they're waiting on it.
Yes, it's a huge problem.
Yeah. So for us, we were like, look, we're willing to wait until we're ready to launch the product. And truth be told, we intended to launch this before Thanksgiving. And we took a look, and we were like, no, we want to make sure that we have enough of this. And we decided to wait because we wanted to be prepared. And so that's a long way to answer your question and say we are well prepared to get this product in people's hands anywhere in the U.S.
Holy crap. I mean, Bobby, do you remember running jobs and then having back order parts? And
typically the delivery driver is not going to say, hey, this, and that is missing. And you're firing off, and you're just trying to put the whole system in. And then all of a sudden you're missing a couple of these and that. So that's good. You're looking out for the guys in the field, and that's the end goal. Like, look out for the guys in the field.
The amount of labor, and then the project manager.
The guys in the field are the most important.
Oof.
Well, there's so many things that we can't control.
The open tape for president. The comments say,
but that's something we can.
Right. So what are some of the common questions that you get asked when you do these trainings? Something that, like, is there a question that stands out?
What's funny enough, and we just launched a product, so we've only done a few of them so far. But funny enough, I think the thing that stands out the most is bracket options, because at our initial launch, we have 3 brackets. We have the G1 speed bracket, G2 rapid bracket, and the G3 open gate bracket. And we do have other brackets in the pipeline to come out later. But for our initial launch, again, we wanted to say, what can we meet today that's going to be the best in class, best value, product that everybody's proud of. Let's do that right first,
Right.
and then we'll add the other options later. But a lot of it does have to do with bracket options. Yeah. And so we walk through those Q&A with them, and then we move forward. But
There was a lot. What was the bracket that I held today?
Architects nowadays are just making all these different fancy types of ceilings that they want us attached to.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Like every job, the ceiling's different.
So with that being said, and without saying too much, I can tell you that
Say more.
there will probably be, I would say, easily 6 to 7 more brackets in the future. Now, when I say the future, I'm not giving you a time.
Okay.
I'm just saying in the future, because to Bobby's point, I mean, there's so many ceiling types.
And you got the speed and the rapid. You're like running out of those fast type of names.
And then the one that I held today, it was ratcheting. It had the quick opening, and I mean, it was great. It had the extra lever on the arms.
Yeah, they're so easy to use. They lock into place and easily adjust the reducer if you need to get in there and make any kind of adjustments. I mean, we're really happy with the product.
No, that's great. Which flex is your favorite?
Man, that's a loaded question. that's a loaded question. So I'll have to answer that in the way that I make purchases, to be fair.
Okay.
And so so this isn't going to be for everybody.
No.
Because people have different buying things.
And different jobs too.
Exactly.
So it's not like that. It's just kind of personal.
Yeah,
but maybe if you had an involvement with one a little bit more.
If I was going to go buy something, I'm all about. I want to know that I have the biggest, baddest, best, whatever. I can't upgrade past this point, basically, right? And then with the fact that friction loss is, the number one thing that people, especially designers, are going to be thinking about. I think that if you're looking for the hose that's going to tick every single box, for me, I would say the Elite Performance.
Okay.
The Elite Performance.
Which I think you got it, right?
Which the 1.25" diameter.
Yeah.
I got the big one. You want the big one?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Now again, but going back to what you were saying though, Brian, I would say that I think that we are going to have a lot of customers that are going to probably go to our standard performance hose, which is the other braided hose.
Yes.
I think that that's going to probably be one of our top sellers, between the three.
Is the calcs significant between the different ones?
It's not that they're significant, but I'm not a designer, so I can't.
Right,
I don't want
right.
to say that, but it seems to me that the lower is always going to be the better. If they're designing, especially with that main line in consideration. So I would think that they would lean that way, but I guess really we're going to see, right?
Yeah.
We got a question from the chat regarding your residential risers.
Okay,
Whoa, easy.
No.
we have them.
He's asking the bolt holes are facing back rather than towards the stud. I can't screw it into the drywall, so I've never understood that. Might be a little bit loaded. We might need a photo of that, G Narcy.
Yeah, get us a photo. Send Bobby your contact information, and then you and I can talk.
We'll get you a good idea. Maybe
Yeah.
we can move those bolt holes for you. No
And
promises,
that's what you're
though.
saying, the feedback to be better.
McKee, what
That's
up?
exactly it.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
And then you're like,
I can't wait to
oh
connect
yeah,
with
that
them.
is a problem. Or if not, then we can fix it. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the good thing about being
Well,
your own
it's part of
manufacturer.
that thing. Yeah, it's part of that thing. Like let's work on it together. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, nobody's ever going to be able to like have the perfect, right? But once we identify like what they need or what they're looking for, then we can modify. We can go from there. But yeah, once he sends you the information, Bobby, get it to me and we'll go from there.
Yeah, great question.
We almost had
Thank
30.
you.
We almost had 30. You guys are getting me excited.
That was the-
Brecco catalog, page 116.
I don't have page 116 pulled up. Okay,
Come on,
that was,
Narcy.
dude, that was
like,
quick.
like
Come on,
who's
Narcy,
doing
chill.
this? Yeah.
Narcy's on it.
Yeah, this is awesome. All right, I want to know a little bit about you.
Yeah. Wow.
Huh?
Okay. So
I-
what do you
I-
want to
Yeah,
know?
that's usually how the show
Yeah.
goes, right? We usually ask about the individual and like how did you make it to this position? I guess is really where we get.
Did you
That's
see
probably a
yourself where
long,
you
loaded
are now?
question, But
Wow. No, it's one of those things where I love to tell the story. I don't know how interesting it is to hear somebody just talk about themselves. So I'll do the best I can
it's pretty
Okay.
interesting.
with that.
Yeah.
But,
People like to know the story.
but I would say this, growing up as a kid, I always make the joke. I say I never like grew up thinking that I would end up in fire protection one day. Truth be told, my brother and I, when we were kids, we got in trouble for starting fires in our backyard. My mom would call us in and be like, we're going to call the fire department and they're going to come talk to you, So it wasn't something that was like really on my radar. And right after college, I was trying to figure out a career, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I really didn't know what I was going to do. And I went into, I became an electrical apprentice, and I was going to go down the path of that. And, I did that for about 10 months, and I realized pretty quickly, after almost getting electrocuted, that was not what I wanted to do long term, right? But I didn't know what I wanted to do, and one of my good friends, we were having a conversation one night, and and that's going to be the theme, people connecting for like helping you for no reason. I can't mentors and that kind of stuff. And you never know who that mentor is going to be. And I can share a little bit more about that. But anyway, we were having this conversation, and he mentioned to me that he was he called it a special hazards technician. And I had no idea what a special hazards technician was. I never heard of that. I had no idea what to expect. But it had something to do with halon systems back then. And his question to me was, he goes, you know how to bend conduit, right? I'm like,
right.
Yeah, I can bend conduit. And he's like, you know how to pull wire like through conduit, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And he's like, okay, then, show up at this office and you're going to meet this manager and he's going to talk to you. And so I thought I was going to go to this job interview, and I had no idea what I was in for. I walk into a room, the guy looks at me and tells me to sit down. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there
Yeah.
and I'm waiting for the question. I'm like, I hope I pass the test, right? And he tells me, he just looks at me, he says, here's how much I'm willing to pay you. You know how to bend conduit, right? I'm like, yep. He goes, you know how to pull wire, right? I'm like, yep. And in my head, I'm like, I guess I'm going to be bending a lot of conduit and pulling a lot of wire. And so anyway, but they teamed me up. And back then, on the inspection side and on the install of the company, like in the state that we were in, you had to have all your license. So unless, sometimes you had some jobs where if we had a union sprinkler job, you couldn't, but they're,
Right.
But anyway, so I got on the job training on fire alarm systems. I got on the job training on sprinkler systems, on kitchen hood systems, on fire extinguishers, on fire hose and sprinkler systems. And anyway, that led me down a path to where I eventually got my license and I became an inspector. And again, I never thought that, it's like it was his job at that time.
Yeah,
it wasn't
right.
something that I thought. And so I was at a refinery. I don't know if I can say the name of it or not, but I was at a refinery, and my job was to, demo systems if they were taking them out, was to inspect all their systems. So I was responsible for all the special hazard system inspections, sprinkler inspections, fire alarm inspections, fire extinguisher inspections, kitchen hood inspections, and keeping track of that, the record keeping and everything. And I was out in the firehouse, in some downtime that I had. I would do things like I would stock the refrigerator with sodas and stuff for the firefighters, or I would change water on the fire trucks. No apparent reason, right? It's just something I'm doing. I'm there. I had downtime. And at the time, there was one of the firefighters there who was a board operator. His name's Richard Philbrick, still a dear friend of mine to this day. And we sit out there, and he asked me, I remember he asked me, he said, why are you filling water on the fire trucks? Why are you changing? And I'm like, well, it has to be done, right? I'm like, might as well do it. I have downtime. I didn't think about it. And we sat there and talked and just got to know each other, and I didn't really think anything about it. But over a few years, we got to know each other. And again, that one relationship, and I think that this is where you can miss it no matter where you are in the field, right? You could be like brand new. You could be a helper on a job site. You never know who you're talking to and where you're both going to be one day. And what's wild is by just doing a little bit more than was expected without worrying about anybody watching or anything like that, I had a relationship and I had a connection that I didn't think about until I was at a job interview years later. Okay, I want you to think about this. Years later, I'm at a job interview, and I'll back up, but I think it's important.
Right.
I'm sitting at a job interview, and it's for a global role, And that role, I'm gonna travel the world, and I'm gonna work with teams all over the place, and it's something I never would have thought about when I was inspecting. And I'm talking to the hiring manager, and he looks at me and he says, "You know who I was having dinner with the other night?" And I'm like, "No. How would I know that?"
Yeah,
you know?
right.
He says, "Do you know Richard Philbrick?" I said, "Absolutely." He said, I was at dinner with him the other night. We were talking, and he was just talking about people, that stood out to him. And he looks at me and he says, "You know who you need to hire? You need to find a guy named Brandon Cremines." And this guy smiles and tells him, he says, "Believe it or not, I'm getting ready to interview him."
What?
Oh my God.
Wow.
True story.
Dude, I
That's
give
crazy.
me
True
chills.
story.
That's incredible. Wow.
And again, I would have never put that together.
No.
I would have never and again, so here's the point here. People helping people for no reason, but to be a mentor, to help somebody, to recognize something. And the person that he was talking to, and his name was Mike Brandt. He passed away last year. Wonderful mentor, wonderful person. But again, the way I got connected to him, and this is where I'll back up, and it goes back to like these moments in time when you think that you're just in a coffee room, getting your cup of coffee, getting ready to go to a job site, whatever it is, and these connections that you're making with people that can change the trajectory of your future that you don't even think about, because we're like this. We spend our life like this, if you think about it a lot.
It's true.
Right? And so eventually I went into a sales role, and I was very successful at that. And again, I felt like people were there to help me. Like I had people that trained me how to sell. I didn't know how to sell. I didn't know what I was doing, right? But anyway, so the person that hired me for that global role,
Right.
like back up, years before that, he was a regional sales manager, and I met him because I did a business presentation when I was in sales, and we just hit it off. And again, years of time pass and progress. I've been in the industry for 26 years now, but years of time progress, and I would run into him like in the break room. I'd be getting coffee. We'd stand and talk. And he took an active interest in my career. He took an active interest in what I was doing, again, for no reason. And so I sat down with him one time because I bought him coffee. I was in a global role, and I called him one day, and I said, "Hey, if you have time, I want to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you." And we sat down, and I looked at him in the eyes, and I said, "Mike," I said, I just got to tell you, I said, "I know this is going to be cheesy. It's going to probably come off the wrong way, but why did you help me? Why did you connect?" And what I meant by that is why would you take the time to introduce me to other people? And why did you pay attention to what was going on in my career? Why did you follow me? Like, I don't get it. And he said something that really changed the way I viewed everything. He said, "You've always had a phenomenal attitude." And what stood out to him, and again, it goes back to what I was saying. We all have bad days. Don't get me wrong. I had bad days too. But it made me think about how many times do we go to work, and if we would just have a positive mindset, a positive attitude. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do that. You could, again, people see that, they recognize that, and you never know when that's going to come back to be something that changes the direction of your life. Again, I know I went forward a little bit.
No, you're doing great.
But going back, so I ended up from being an apprentice to being an inspector to going into suppression sales to going into what they called preventive maintenance agreement sales at the company I was working for, to eventually my job became to travel the U.S. and to help coach and train salespeople on how to sell multi-million, multi-year agreements that were geared around service in our industry. And again, it was stepping stones to where every time I got into a new role, I would take the time to learn everything I possibly could. I would take on every responsibility I possibly could. And what I saw happen through that is opportunities would open up, because all of a sudden you would know more about something than a lot of other people, not because it was even hard, but because you took the time to study and connect, and so I have a long period of doing things like that. And, I've had companies where I've been able to start up divisions. I've been able to do so many things in the industry. And I always point it back to people that were willing to probably sometimes see something that I didn't see myself.
Yeah.
And give me opportunity to grow. And so I would say, wherever you are in this industry, take that moment, take that time and invest yourself in it. But not only that, make sure that you're growing your circle and growing your connections. And so in a lot of those different things, and we don't have the time to go and dissect every single one of them, but here's something that I would say I've found to be true. When I would go into like a new role, new position, especially if there was something that I didn't know as much about, I would find whoever was seen as that subject matter expert. And I would go to them, every single one of them, and I would look at them and I would say, look, I'm probably dumb when it comes to what you know. I probably don't understand what you know. And it would be easy for me to walk in here and act like I know something that I don't know. But instead of that, if you're willing to take some time and teach me what you know, or let me shadow you, or give me solid feedback, even if sometimes it hurts my feelings. But if you're willing to help me, man, I'd love to work with you. And something that I found is that approach, I never had one person that I approached that way say, no, get away from me. No, I'm not going to help you. What I noticed is it was almost like a wing. They would take you under their arm and they would impart the knowledge that they had. And so I would just say, find those people and show them that you really want to learn. Because what I find in our industry is we all know a lot, and some of us know a lot about everything. Some of us know a lot about a little, but there are people in our industry that know something we don't know.
Oh, absolutely.
And they want to share it. Probably people just haven't came and asked them.
Or ask them in the right manner.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Bobby,
That was excellent.
is there any mentor that stands out to you?
Well, I mean, starting right under my father.
Yeah, I did
Obviously,
too.
that was my biggest mentor. And then with a long career, I've only made a handful of friends actually at work from the job. And one of them being little Bobby. I bring him up a lot. And he had a lot of grit. He was young and he was impressionable, and he was taking what I taught him and he was trying with it. And he's soaring right now. And he took it and he ran with it. And so teaching people and being a mentor is very important. We preach that all the time. Not everybody wants to learn. Not everybody wants to retain it. And maybe more don't than do. And then that's why people gatekeep, so to speak.
Right.
A couple bad experiences, and then they never want to teach again. So you have to be, you don't know everything. And I'm teaching my kids that now. Don't ever tell me I know. If someone's trying to tell you something, even if you do know, thank you. Thank you. That's it. It takes the same breath as saying I know. And it's just more respectful.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point, and I think sometimes, somehow, I know for me, I didn't realize one time when somebody was trying to mentor me very early on in my career, and it was again back when I was in the electrical industry, and the job site foreman, his name was Homer. I can't remember his last name for the life of me, but I thought this guy hated me. I really did. Like, he gave me all the jobs that nobody would ever want, But I remember one time I was supposed to be running conduit in this, and it was in a chemical plant where, I was in the deep South Texas is where this was. And he told me he wanted me to make this conduit run, and his only thing was, he says, you have to do it without using a union. And so I spent all day trying to do this, and he would come and check on me, and every time he'd come, I would always sneak a union in somewhere, and he'd find it, and he would throw it down and tell me, that's not what I told you to do. And I was like, why is this guy doing this? Yeah. And I kept telling him, I can't. And anyway, near the end of the day, after it felt like the 100th time that he had told me I could, I figured it out. And he did give me some coaching that helped me figure it out. It wasn't like I did it on my own, but he coached me kind of through it. And after I finished that, what I realized, and again, at that moment, I didn't realize it, Bobby. I really didn't. But what I realized, after the fact, is what he was showing me is, don't say I can't. You just haven't figured it out yet.
Right. That's a great point.
And
that moment obviously stuck with you.
Absolutely.
So that's another big thing is the accountability during a mistake, I feel, is huge. And when you let a mistake slide, they won't learn from it. And so I tell that a lot. We got to hold people accountable for their mistakes, and no do it in a mean way, but make sure that they know it was a mistake and show them the right way, so it's meaningful enough for them to remember. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Mm-hmm. And that's really the best mentor that you can get.
Yeah, and then that mistake, you show them the why. I think that's a big thing instead of just getting on to them.
The chat is blowing up. Love you guys.
You want to answer some questions?
Leave things better than you found them. That's the way. That's what Chad always says. The new generation with working from home is becoming a big problem. They're not going to have the opportunities. That's a great point, Chris.
That is a good point.
Daryl says that, and I missed when Daryl says regarding your story, that story is better than any Brian story I ever heard. Brad says, I'm going to every dinner I get invited to now. Serendipity is a real thing. Those are all responses to your story that you told. It's a great story. The chat. You guys are doing great.
And by the way, chat, guys, thank you so much for supporting us in this journey. We never thought that we would be here with Brecco. And
we got Paul on here. Respect to Brecco Brandon. Damn,
Brandon.
That's a celebrity in the Dope and Tape chat, Paul.
Awesome.
Mountain Man Paul. Thanks for joining.
Paul.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, Mountain Man Paul, we want you to come on for the 200th episode. So
I got a hold of him.
If you're up for it, if you're up for it, we would love to have you. We want to send you some T-shirts and some gear, and we love what you do. You're probably one of the hardest men in fire protection, period. If you all guys, if you were going to watch any show and you're joining us, watch that one. The guy was hanging pipe. I don't even know how many miles underneath the ground,
the earth,
on his knees.
He did the live show from his backyard with bears in the background.
With bears.
Wow.
He would hear something. He would get the spotlight. He's like,
oh, we're good.
Okay, we're all right. We're all right. No grizzlies. Wild. Mountain Man Paul. Shout out, man. We love you.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Shout out to the production team. Shout out to Brecco. Gemflex.
Thank you for
Nobody
having
can
us.
see them, but they're doing an amazing job back there.
They're doing an amazing job back
They
there.
are.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys in the comments. If you haven't, I think you guys are all subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the button. Hit the like button. Thank you guys for joining us and showing up. We're back. You catch us every Thursday. Holidays are behind us now.
Yeah, we're done.
We'll be live every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. We do this for you guys. Thank you for showing up. Keith, what up, Keith? Give us a little bit of feedback. How'd we do? What do you guys want to see next? Anybody got final words?
It's been a long day.
Shout out to Brecco.
It has been a long day.
Shout out to Brecco Brandon.